Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a Southern Kentucky community mourns the loss of a young football player who died just a short time after suffering an injury while on the field. And an Eastern Kentucky ambulance service plans to prepare future first responders after not even being on the road for half a year.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Chas Gayhart. It is 6 o'clock on Tuesday, April 4th. Let's go back over and check in with Brandon.
Well, Chas, this morning the forecast looking pretty good. We're looking a little bit on the milder side. I wish tomorrow night would be an April Fool's joke. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the case. So we're on the guard for the more chances for some stronger storms after starting off April on a very stormy note. Let's take a look, see what's going on downtown Whitesburg this morning. No major issues down there. Fairly calm and quiet as we head through the first part of your day. So we're going to continue to see that pattern there. Maybe a few more clouds this morning, but you see temperatures already going up. Close to 60 there in Moorhead, Irvin, Somerset, London, Jackson, and Harlan as we head on through. That's 58 and 59 there for you. Some upper 50s there across other parts of the area. Ashland's up to 50. Clintwood closing in on 50, and Grundy at 46. So those temperatures going up a little bit. Already upper 60s back out toward Paducah, mid 60s Carbondale, Nashville, and it's getting a little cooler the further east you come. But again, warm air surging in today ahead of a system that's going to impact us tomorrow. We're going to have a couple of days of summer preview before we get there. 82 this afternoon. It's going to be a warm day, so get out inside and enjoy it because tomorrow chances for showers and storms pick up. Chas?
Thanks, Brandon. Well, a Southern Kentucky high school student athlete died on Monday after he was injured in a practice game last week. Andrew Dodson was a junior at Pulaski County High School. Chad Hedrick has a look into the injuries and deaths related to high school sports.
A young life gone too soon, taken while playing a sport he loved. Tributes from teams and coaches around Kentucky poured in Monday as news spread of Andrew Dodson's death. The junior tight end and defensive end at Pulaski County died after he was hurt at a scrimmage game over the weekend.
That the kid was participating in what would be a normal football action, and he got tackled and hit his head on the ground.
What happened to Dodson is extremely rare, especially in Kentucky. KHSAA Commissioner Julian Tackett says he is not aware of anything other than incidents related to heat or cardiovascular disease over the last decade.
You know, you think of all the concussion things we've seen the last few decades, and you think about helmet to helmet and some big blow, and everything we're hearing is that was not the case.
In an annual study of football injuries by the National Center for Catastrophic Sport Injury Research, they say there were 4.2 million football players in 2021. There were just 4 deaths related to traumatic brain injuries, and all were high school students. 2 were from tackling and included a defensive end.
Technology today is so good at preventing head injuries.
The study finds deaths from exertional or medical conditions while playing football are more common, but were still very low, including 8 cardiac arrests and 2 heat strokes among high school athletes.
One of the tributes that came in yesterday was from Kentucky head football coach Mark Stoops. He tweeted his condolences to Andrew's family and team. Andrew's brother and father replied with a tweet thanking Stoops and sharing a memory of the 3 of them at the 2021 Florida game when the Cats beat the Gators. They say that is one of their favorite memories. After 2 devastating weather events in the last 2 years, the Commonwealth is seeking to prepare for the next one. House Bill 157 was signed into law last Monday. Will help to form a statewide response team for natural disasters and other incidents requiring emergency response. The goal of this Kentucky Urban Search and Rescue Group would not be to form a new team that trains and works as one cohesive crew.
We were wanting to move quickly and show the citizens that we're serious about these disasters and show our first responders and our search and rescue that, you know, we wanted to support them and give them the capabilities.
A report is due by December 1st with a draft of policies, procedures, and regulations. More than 1,000 people are still without power here in the Commonwealth after the weekend's high winds. One city hit hard was Prestonsburg. Alex Jackson talked with the mayor to see what comes next on the road to recovery.
A lot of trees down, a lot of power lines out.
The Monday after a weekend of chaos for the city of Prestonsburg, Kentucky, filled with long lists of repairs. A Saturday filled with heavy winds, dropping problems everywhere.
A lot of trees on cars, a lot of homes that lost shingles, a lot of homes that had damage to porches, a lot of fires. You know, down lines cause fires.
Prestonsburg City Hall not even spared from the damage as this tree ripped out from the ground, falling on one of the city's trucks.
It'll take some time to be able to regroup, get contractors out, and get some of this work done.
Along South Lake Drive, an apartment building partially brought down by heavy winds. The road now reopened, but 4 people displaced, and the future status of the building currently unknown. Many in the city were without power for over 24 hours.
Anytime you have a sustained outage, it creates a lot of problems, especially when you get people who have oxygen machines or on-type medical devices and stuff.
The mayor credits his team for their responses to emergencies and also for the information they provided the public before the storm that he says helped keep others safe.
And by getting that information out, they're able to take some measures to try to contain the damage.
Stapleton says the city's crews are always on guard.
Our fire department 24/7, police 24/7, so we've always got people available.
With the storm behind the city, the road to rebuilding starts now.
That was Alex Jackson reporting. The entire Floyd County School District was closed on Monday after this past weekend's storms. Mayor Stapleton says most, if not all, of the city of Prestonsburg's power has been restored. And Prestonsburg's ambulance service has been on the road for 5 months, and it's already planning to prepare future first responders. The crew of Prestonsburg firefighters is also trained in emergency medical services. So the city decided to open its own ambulance service to better serve the area and utilize trained paramedics during a time when workers are scarce. The group is also taking trainees on calls, working with Big Sandy Community and Technical College and Pikeville's EMTs to give future first responders some hands-on experience.
We're excited to be a part of it, and we were just tickled to death that both of those entities had enough confidence in us to allow us to help train their employees.
Mayor Stapleton says the ambulance service has already had more than 530 calls, and he is excited to watch it grow and give to the people of Prestonsburg. An ATV crash in central Kentucky this past weekend left 1 person dead, and unfortunately rescue squad officials in southeast Kentucky say ATV-related injuries and deaths will likely not end there, especially during the spring and summer months. WYMT's Alyssa Williams checked in with rescuers and ATV enthusiasts to learn more about how to stay safe when hitting the trails.
As the weather gets warmer, rescuers like those with the London Laurel Rescue Squad are prepared to assist with the numerous ATV-related calls they will get this year.
As the weather gets warmer, it can be 1 to 3 calls per week, especially on the weekends. It's the most busy.
The rescue squad's Lieutenant Public Information Officer Nathan Kirby says having a plan when hitting the ATV trail can help keep you safe.
The trail needs to be familiar to you. If you're not familiar with the area, it can be easy to either get lost in the woods or go over an embankment or a cliffside.
ATV rider Kevin Grimes says he has seen firsthand how important wearing protective gear can be as well.
The last time I was here, we saw a guy who flipped his four-wheeler and came down a hill on the other side, and we were quick to run and try to get to him. And luckily, he didn't get hurt too bad. He got scraped up, had a couple little pieces on the machine broken. But what I will say is he had a helmet on and he had a chest protector on, which probably saved him.
Sticking to commercial trails versus private ones can also be a safer ride because if people are to crash on commercial trails, rescuers can find them easier.
If a trail hasn't had anyone on it in a while, if there's any sort of washout or breakage on the trail on a cliffside, no one is reporting that, no one's maintaining it, so it's better to go to those parks.
Helping to keep everyone safe when they hit the ATV trails. In Laurel County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Kirby says people also need to stay away from alcohol when operating ATVs.
.609 here on this Tuesday morning. We take a look at our temperatures, and they're actually heading in the right direction this morning. A little bit milder than they have been the last couple of days. We're in the 40s, 50s, and almost 60 this morning. 60 in central Kentucky, Lexington at 60, Louisville's at 62. But you can see most areas basically right there close to 50 or right close to 60 this morning. Several degrees warmer from this time yesterday. The winter is Prestonsburg, London, and Middlesboro. Actually, I'm telling a fib there. Jonesville is the winner at 16 degrees above what it was this time yesterday. Prestonsburg, London, and Middlesboro, 15 degrees above where they were this time yesterday. We're heading up today, 82 a daytime high. Yes, it is still April. Yes, it will feel like summer a little bit later on. But again, don't get too used to it, because even though we're going to be warm again tomorrow, chances for showers and storms will pick up tomorrow night. Jess?
Thanks, Brandon. And thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up next, former President Donald Trump prepares to be booked and arraigned at a New York courthouse for charges involving a hush money scheme. Stay with us. That's on the way next.